It's nice to meet you, Dave.
Nice to meet you.
Just jumping right in, I saw you guys a couple weeks ago in Green Bay. You're performing at the Epic Event Center, and I was really impressed by your band. Um, just tell me, how did you even get into that? How did you start all of this?
Well, it started 25 years ago this
Mhm.
year, which is amazing. I mean, you're talking silver anniversary. You're probably not even 25 years old.
No, I'm not.
So we've been around longer than you've been alive, which is pretty crazy to even think about. But yeah, it started in the beginning with Chainsaw Kane and Happy, the guitar player. But yeah, so it started 25 years ago, and it's just been going ever since, and just getting bigger and better and crazier every year. So we're really excited about the 25th anniversary because we're pulling out all the stops more so than we ever have. So it's going to be
Mhm.
great. And by the way, that Epic Event Center, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring that up because what a wonderful place that you all have there in Green Bay. I mean, it's just incredible. The
Mhm.
people that built that place thought of every amenity for every person that's ever been on the road, thought of everything, including the fans and the artist. I mean, so
Mhm.
they did a wonderful job.
And then I was going to ask about the costumes. I mean, they're some of the most accurate, and I've researched a little about you guys, and I was like on TikTok or whatever, and I saw comments. They were like, "Is this a real person?" And people were like, "No, it's Hairball." I mean, did those start handmade? Are they custom or?
Yeah, those are custom made. We go to great lengths to get everything right. Our whole intention is to make you look up there, and when you look, you know that it's not the person, but you definitely look up at it and go, man, that's pretty damn close. I mean,
Mhm.
if I didn't know any better, that could be the actual person. And
Right, right.
that's what we want to do, especially for somebody as young as you or anybody coming to shows that have heard about these things as they was growing up in these bands and what they did and how they performed and how flamboyant and over the top that they were. We want to bring that to you. So this is exactly the way we remember it. This is
Mhm.
exactly the way it was when we was growing up. So hopefully we represent it in that way.
Totally. Talking about portraying characters, just for the people who haven't seen you before, what are the characters you do portray?
Oh, for me, I do the
Hmm.
Gene Simmons.
Hmm.
I'm 7'1" whenever I put on those
Oh
boots,
my
so it's
gosh.
pretty big. And I do D. Snyder, Alice Cooper, AC/DC. I do
Mhm.
Wasp. I do Quiet Riot, Cinderella. I do Lemmy from Motorhead.
Mhm.
So I do all the raspy voice singers
Right.
and all the people, all the screamers or the cavemen rockers, if you will. So that's who I do.
Hmm. And I think I read on your website AC/DC was your favorite one to do, or is that different?
Well, I mean, it's hard to pick your favorite. It's like picking your favorite kid. So, I
Right.
mean, to get to wear the jean costume and all the makeup, which you've seen it live, it's
Hmm.
pretty daggone cool. And then you think of the, Twisted Sister attire with the big shoulder pads and the big
Hmm.
wigs how do you pick? I mean, I get to be Alice
Right.
Cooper too. I get to be Brian Johnson. I get to be Lemmy from Motorhead. I mean, how do you pick what your favorite one is? They're all cool.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking about the bands, I saw in an interview almost a decade ago with KCWI 23, there was mentions of some of the bands you portray being interested in Hairball. I mean, how is that to you? Is that
That is very true. A lot of the bands that we tribute have been on stage with us, including Alice Cooper, including Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley,
Mhm.
including Dee Snider, including Rob Halford. I mean, and Stephen Pearcy of Rat, and Vince Neil of Motley Crue, and all of them have been on stage with us
Mhm.
at one point or another during this band's career, and it's amazing. I mean, that's a serious tip of the hat because they know we're not taking the piss out of them. We're not making fun of
Right.
it. We're not bringing light to it. We're paying it the proper respect that it deserves
Mhm.
with costuming and makeup. And we're doing everything that we're supposed to be doing to respect and do a proper tribute to these artists.
Mhm. That's really awesome. Um, I will be at the show at I'll be at the show at
What's that?
Rivers. I'll be at the show at Riverside on the 11th. Is there
Oh,
any?
nice.
Yes, I'm very excited. Is there anything you'd like to tell your fans who haven't seen you live before? Anything they should know?
Well, if you haven't seen it, then I encourage you to come out because people ask me to try to explain it to them. It's we have 5 video walls. We have more pyro than a '70s Kiss concert. We have more visuals and costumes, and we're there to burn your eyes out of your head, make your eardrums bleed, and leave you sticky, broken, and confused. Imagine a whole show of nothing but encores. That's what we are. It's
Right.
nothing but the greatest hits and the greatest choruses to the greatest songs in the greatest history of rock and roll ever. And I do not know how you can not be excited about that. So it's pretty awesome. And to have somebody like you who's so young to be interested in 50-year-old men in spandex is pretty cool too, because at this point it's become generational. We have little old ladies and granddaughters and daughters, and we have grandfathers and sons and grandsons. And I like to joke that it's everybody just getting their teeth and everybody starting to lose them. So
Mhm.
it's a lot of fun. So I highly encourage you to come out. And when you come in, you're going to walk in, but you're going to float out because we demand nothing but you to have a good time. That's our job.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember I was in the photo pit and I forgot my earbuds and I was like, okay, it'll be fine. I walked out and I was like, that was the most amazing show. I cannot hear a thing. It was insane.
Right.
It was
Well,
really
that's
awesome.
the intention. We want you to
Mhm.
come in and just have a great time and raise your drink up to the greatest choruses and the greatest music in the history of rock and roll. And we're just so emphatic and excited to come back to Milwaukee. We just absolutely love it there. We're just excited because we get to do the whole show this time.
Mhm.
You're going to get to see the pyro. You're going to get to see me blow fire. You're going to get to see all of that. So it's going to be even more of a spectacle for you,
Mhm.
being that you just saw it at the Epic Center where we didn't have any of that because we couldn't do it indoors. Here, they're
Right.
allowing us to do it. So it's
Okay.
going to be great.
Talking about the different shows, do you like to change them up a bit? Are they pretty similar or
Yeah,
for
well,
the
what we do is we keep the set list from every time that we've
Mhm.
come into town, so like we can reference it. So if we go back to the Epic, we could look at what we did, and we could do up to 40 characters in a night because we have 3 singers rotating out.
Mhm.
So you got to think about that. We can flip a show. No problem. I mean, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. We didn't do
Mhm.
this last time, let's do this. And we stay rehearsed on all these characters and
Mhm.
all of these songs. That way we could flip the show at a moment's notice. So it's pretty awesome.
Is that pretty rushed? I remember at first, I remember I was talking to the other photographers there, and at first I didn't know that there was different frontmen, and I was like, How is this person changing so quickly? And he was like, no, there's multiple people. I mean, how is it for you? Is it still pretty quick back there?
Absolutely. We look
Mhm.
like a bunch of teenagers at your local mall stripping off clothes and throwing new ones on,
Mhm.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, you got to be quick. We have everything laid out. As the characters go, you have to have your stuff together because you have like in between 10 and 11 minutes to get out of one character
Mhm.
and into another one. And all of my characters entail makeup. So it's like, it is really fast. And I do my own makeup. And it's like boom, 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 boom.
Mhm.
And you have to be very quick and you have to have all of your stuff lined out. And it helps if you just have everything measured. So it's pretty awesome
Mhm. And has
and
it,
challenging.
yes. Oh my gosh, I imagine. Has it always been like that? I mean, like you're saying 25 years now. How have the performances changed since, your first one to 2.5 decades later?
Well, I mean, whenever they first started, I wasn't in the band, of course, but whenever they
Mhm.
first started, my understanding is that they were packed out of suitcases and they would just put a curtain up
Oh
on
my
the side of the
gosh.
stage. It was so small, right?
Mhm.
And it was just so crude and just, beginning and just the beginning of the band, And so they would have to literally unpack from suitcases, wigs and stuff like that, and put them on and then go on stage. And then as it graduated, we got
Mhm.
green rooms and we had road cases and now we have a semi and a tour bus
Mhm.
and it's just graduated and escalated and gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and better and more efficient as we went on. Now some people would probably say, oh, they're a little spoiled in it, but I promise you it's not spoiled.
Right.
We have earned all the things that we've
Put in the
gotten,
work for
and we've
sure.
gotten really good at being efficient at the things that we do. We once in the summertime, what we do is once we empty the trailer of the semi, or our fantastic road crew, by the way, God bless them, they're so good. Once they empty the semi, we go ahead and convert that into a dressing room, and we open up all of our cases, and we're inside of the semi on those days when we're doing festivals outside. So it's just it's a machine, is what it is. It's just a heavy duty rock and roll machine, and I couldn't be more proud to work with the people I work with.
For sure. I have one more question for you, just to stay on brand.
Sure.
Um, Now that you've been in Wisconsin or have been in the past, cheese curds. Yeah or
What's
nay?
that?
Cheese
Cheese
curds?
curds? Oh
Yes.
my God, they're the
The
best.
best thing
They're
ever,
the
right?
best.
Mhm.
They're the absolute best. If you can get them at like a county fair, they're the best,
Hmm.
because that's
Nowhere
when they're the
better.
greasiest. That's when they're the greasiest, and that's when they're
Hmm.
the best. And they're
Hmm.
just like so cheesy and melty. And then they got the oh, what is it? The flour over top of them, and oh
Hmm.
my God, it is so good. Yeah, we're addicted to that. And the minute we get to one of those, it's you got to go to Wisconsin to get a proper cheese curd.
Yes, you got to stock up. It's not better anywhere else.
No, I agree 1000%.
Alrighty, that's all I have for you. Thank you for coming in.
All right, well, you're very welcome, and thank you
Awesome.
so much for the time.
Thank you so much. You have a good day.
You too.